Oops. Okay, I think it's working out. Hey, hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Sheesh! Did not expect all that scuff. That was way more scuff than I thought there would be. Holy cow! Well, things should be working now, hopefully, and if not, oof. Purely oof. Oof. The mayor's bad luck was truly contagious. Yep, they got the wrong person to give their blessings. At first, right where the tip of the shovel struck, only a mere spurt of bubbles and slurry emerges. But very rapidly, more and more of the spring water stowed underground breaks the surface. Throwing splash after splash out of the sand, sides frothing and foaming, permeating through the grains. The ground beneath the mayor's feet begins to give and give. The secretary, sensing something's awry, quickly pushes aside the still befuddled mayor. In an instant, the surging spring gushes forth, a fountain of water perfectly high and straight, busting through the entire burial site. A curtain of water, meters tall, scatters its droplets back to the surface, where they cohere into a clear stream, crossing over the sandy hills, flowing to the town far away.
What the hell is... water? There's nothing but water! Where are they? Where are the gemstones?
Really, dude? Well, there's the secretary.
I don't believe it. Keep digging. You, go. I command you. Mayor, that's out of the question. I'd drown if I tried. What's the noise?
It's the townspeople cheering.
Excuse me?
Not that I can blame you for asking, not like their voices ever made it to your ears. Yeah, you said it yourself, there's nothing more important than water. Staring at T in a daze.
Why are you here?
I'm here to congratulate you, Mr. Mayor. You've got to understand, no treasure in the desert's more precious than water. Hopelessly wipes water off face. Got what you wanted. He must be one happy man.
It was you.
Shrugs.
You dare do me like this. Those destitute husks put you up to it, didn't they? Didn't they? You won't get away with this. Every last one of you. I'll make your lives a living hell.
You got some fluster on display. How's it taste? Nurturing a dream for years just for it to shatter overnight. Okay, fine. I'll give you an out. Didn't hesitate to go find water for your townsfolk, even if you had to damage your ancestors' graves. That's a meritorious deed if I ever heard of one. You report it to the Lord Emir, Mr. Mayor, and you get a transfer to wherever the hell you want. Still, no matter how rich your town, no matter how much dignity you scrounge up, you'll be nothing but a blood-sucking tick your whole life. I've already sent a letter out for your commendation and recommendation. Lord Emir's envoy should be here in less than a month. You still want to get out of here? I say you seize the opportunity, treat your townsfolk well, and turn your reputation around fast. It's your very last chance.
You...
Not gonna get your mayor out of here, Mr. Secretary. Look at how dumbstruck he is. That was so nice of her. We're out, Nazir. We've done everything we need to.
Tuye.
Nazir, you want to keep up with me or not?
Look, Tuye, a rainbow. There's a rainbow in the sunshine.
But yay for water, woohoo! Hydration, please! Water still device. Speaking of water. Hello. Just read through Tuye's files and record. The plot is learning about characters. So water's still device. Before night has a chance to fall, daylight vanishes from outside the classroom window. The twilight red is shoved forth by fierce storms. The sun blotted out by the turbid air, leaving only a faint gold halo in the sky. The matter dusk dyed in a thick red-orange. In the dry, flaming hot air, Tuya finds herself stifled. She tugs at her collar and continues to observe the sand blankets, the land and the sky outside, wondering what's going to happen once class is out. Brutal winds assail unabated, the sand within rattling and pattering against the glass with great clamor. The long-bearded professor is forced to stop teaching and wait for the noise to subside. Amidst a dense sandstorm, Tuya notices a buckthorn plant shuddering about beneath the dilapidated wall, a flower bud somehow still surviving on its sparse branches, tender, frail, liable to fall away in the wind at any time. Shh! Tuya shuts her book and stuffs it in her bag, stooping low in preparation to slip out of the back door. Hello, hello. It appears you think you already grasped this. Am I wrong, Miss Tuya? Huh? Tuya looks up and sees the professor standing in at his lectern, arms folded, giving her a look of annoyance. What was I saying just now? Answer correctly and I won't deduct credits. The veiled professor strokes his beard. It's caused by the steam trap having an insufficient pressure differential, leading to steam leaking from the condenser. I hadn't gotten that far yet, Miss Tuya. You were about to, weren't you? Tuya wiggles her eyebrows and lets out a smile. Faced with such an irrepressible student, the professor can only heave a sigh and give his begrudging reply. Fine, get out of here. You're not helping me. What about my course credit? Just this once. I'll lay you off the hook. I see she knows what she's talking about, which is fun. Clearing his throat, the professor is about to continue where he left off when Tuya's next remark suddenly angers him to the point his beard stands on end. You know, you can dox him if you really wanna. I'm way above a pass anyhow. Tuya hoists her bag and is sprinting out the door by the time she finishes, leaving only the hinges slowly shutting and an ear-piercing grumble. Get back here, you little goddamn lout! The professor's bellowing is loud enough to be heard across the lecture hall and fades away in the hallway along with Tuya's cackles. Many years later, Tuya still regularly thinks back to her student days and cracks a smile to this day. She and the professor have unfailingly kept in touch with by letter. Wow, they're best frenemies at this point, which is fun. And every time she finishes writing one, she takes the condenser still off her backpack and pours the water into the planter on the windowsill, where lush and beautiful buckthorn grows. Aw, it's a nice souvenir. She kept the flower. How nice. I did not expect Tuya to be so wholesome. Now for Manticore. Let's see what Manticore's like. File. Basic info. Codename Manticore. Gender female. Combat experience 1 year. Oh, a newbie fighter. Pretty much. 1 year. Place of birth Sargon. Date of birth unknown. Race Manticore. Height 155 centimeters. Tail length 140 centimeters. I love how the tail length is important. Infection status. Infection confirmed by medical examination. Physical exam. Physical strength excellent. Mobility excellent. Physical resilience standard. Tactical acumen standard. Combat skill excellent. Origini more simulation excellent. Profile. Much of Manticore's history is unknown. It is known that prior to her employment at Rhodes Island, she's engaged in the removal of certain individuals. She has excellent stealth, infiltration, and surprise attack skills. Now, she serves as a special kind of operator who provides these unique services for Rhodes Island. Terrifying. Like, holy cow, though. I did not expect her to be a tsundere like that. But that makes her cute. It does make her a lot cute. Like, super cute in that case. I admire her dedication. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests have shown the outlines of her internal organs to be indistinct due to abnormal shadows. Originium granules have been detected in her circulatory system, confirming her to be infected with neuropathy. Stellar originium assimilation, 12%. Operator has no obvious ore lesions on the surface of her body. Tests have revealed the presence of crystals internally, however. Blood originium crystal density, 0.32. Due to the presence of originium within the operator's internal organs, the operator shows an elevated blood crystal content. Archive File 1. Manticore is gentle, shy, and sometimes even gives others the feeling that she's afraid. She speaks in a hesitant tone and often stammers. She rarely finishes a sentence in one attempt, and she appears to be very stiff when communicating with other operators. She would probably be more comfortable talking to a rock. Aww. Additionally, her rare invisibility ability has become a major hindrance to communication. It has completely prevented her from improving her interpersonal skills. It may be necessary to suggest additional treatment solutions to help Manticore develop her social skills. Archive File 2. We communicate with Manticore by writing messages on paper. Urbathy has given her the ability to turn invisible. The report on this ability needs additional processing. It has been confirmed through interactive experiments that her ability does not transfer to inanimate objects, so paper communication has proved a suitable way to communicate with this operator. After communication, Manticore likes to leave behind little gifts that smell sweetly of violets. Aw, that's nice. Archive File 3. Manticore was born in Sargon because most of the background she provided could not be validated. Manticore's experience cannot be confirmed. What is known is that Manticore has undergone relatively comprehensive special operations training and has at least 1 year of operative experience under her belt. The investigation into her special operations training unit was unsuccessful, and Sargon intelligence did not provide any valuable clues. Currently, only unconfirmed and less than reliable intelligence from Sargon spies indicate there's a group of people who house Origini Mart's users with special abilities in this area. These individuals are using special training methods to kill Sargon aristocrats or operatives from other nations. Because of Manticore's vague background, she has been designated a special type of Urbithy patient at Rhodes Island. Any applications requesting to use Manticore in special operations or combat will first need to be submitted to Dr. Kelsey for approval. Archive File 4. Manticore's abilities test record. Test subject Manticore. Test objective to probe the usefulness of the subject's abilities and Origini Marts. Test content to find Manticore while she is in hiding and to defend against her while she is in action. Test participants, an operator who has worked with Manticore on several missions. Randomly select 2 operators from all the operators available. Among them must be at least 1 technician operator or non-technician operator with high Origini adaptability. Test results. The test took place on a terrain simulating a complex environment. During the test period, none of the 3 operators who were able to locate the whereabouts of Manticore. When Manticore went on the offensive, some of the operators managed to defend against her attacks, using their quick reaction times and combat experience, while Manticore managed to successfully attack the others. Feedback results. According to the explanations provided by the operators, Manticore could not be captured using visual means. Some of the operators with better Origini adaptability reported feeling a strange atmosphere that instantly made them as though they were in danger. The above process has been recorded in its entirety. If you wish to view it, you must request it from the relevant department. I want to know which operators were chosen for this test. That seems interesting. Ooh, operator record, dead silence. That sounds ominous. She trembles and shudders, scared even of the sound when she speaks. So our first girl is a tsundere, and our second girl is very shy. Rhodes Island Command Center.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought her back.
Help me understand what happened.
As I say in the report, she was unconscious near the safe house, barely clinging to life. She was covered in dust and sand, looking just like a desert catastrophe victim. I wanted to give her a sip of water. A bit of the old habit came out.
Right now, there's only 2 Manticores that we know of. One is the Manticore in Rhodes Island, the other is an envoy from Pepper's event that came from the Gold City. Pretty amazing how it's only 2 so far. I wonder what's more rare, the Manticores or the ones like Ho'oheak.
There's nothing wrong with the compassion to help those in need, so long as you can handle the responsibilities that come with that. I'll admit, I did not fully consider who she might be. I gave her a little salt water and left her in the shade near the village. The next time I saw her, she was on the aircraft. Obviously, she followed me.
And you said you didn't notice anything at the time, correct?
I performed a comprehensive cabin inspection and didn't see anything out of the ordinary. She suddenly appeared in the middle of the journey, and I can't even confirm that she had been hiding inside the aircraft. If not for her poor physical condition at the time, she might have even hit me with the attack. According to her analysis, she possesses some form of invisibility type originium arts. If you can provide any further details, I'll have an easier time handling her. I'm sorry, Dr. Kelsey. I honestly don't have anything else to offer. She didn't even leave footprints in the sand.
That could also be useful information. Can you think of any reasons she might have had for attacking you?
I'm thinking it might have been an old grudge or simple misunderstanding. It might have even been a stress response after crossing the desert.
Or maybe it's because you saw her.
That's crossed my mind as well.
Rhode Island will continue to investigate her, but some answers may have to come straight from the girl's mouth. Just so you feel better, Stormeye, she hasn't hurt anyone since coming to Rhode Island. She allowed us to examine her, but while we were administering an IV, she pulled the needle out and left medical. She's been placed in a single dorm since then. From the data we've gotten back from her infection monitoring device, her life isn't in imminent danger. However, she refuses to communicate with us.
Okay. Now then,
the next matter is yours. That one does not get picked up by the doc is more rare. I guess it's true, technically. Manticore reminds you of Kirara in a way, but the differences between them is the fact that she actually accomplished some things. Based on her vague background, your current speculation is that she might even be well known in the Golden City. Ooh. We tried to identify the ID cards she had on her person, but most of them are older than her, remnants from a regional conflict decades ago. All we can tell from them is that she has been active throughout most of Sargon. Beyond that, there's no deeper connection among those IDs. The other angle of investigation arises from the weapon she was carrying. We can fairly conclusively say that her primary function mode is assassination. She carried several small and delicate devices with a level of craftsmanship unlikely to be self-made. But Rhodes Island has no way to trace the weapons and poisons. Our intelligence networks have come up completely blank. Similarly, assassinations are not uncommon in Sargon, so we can't link her activities with any specific event. Finally, judging from her behavior since coming into contact with Rhodes Island, it might be difficult to get any information directly from her. Okay, so she's supposed to be really good at assassinating, or trained for that. In that case, I'm thinking more Utage, rather than Kirara. She's been awake for 3 days, but has continued to refuse the food and water we provided. If she's so fiercely loyal to her past, can we really reach a cooperative relationship with her? These are things for you to decide. If you have time, you can go see her. For Rhodes Island, she is an infected first and foremost, and that has nothing to do with her past. If she's willing to cooperate, then we can accept her. She might have been on a mission when she made first contact. Person in a white mask, same rules as always, spin the bottle. Whoever the bottle points to takes the job. Everyone quietly gathers in a circle. The bottle spins with no regard for who it chooses. They're all the same. The mouth of the bottle stops in front of her. She takes a note from inside and leaves the group. The orders are inside the bottle on a slip of paper. The group leader always repeats these words as if tactfully acknowledging the presence of newcomers. Hello, hello. But she doesn't keep track of the comings and goings. Sometimes 3 or 4 show up, other times there might be as many as a dozen. She reckons that the group leader probably doesn't keep track either because the voice behind the white mask has changed as well. That's not a good sign if they keep on changing. Panicked Manticore girl. That was a close one. I almost fell asleep again. What am I wearing? The texture feels so weird. I haven't seen a Manticore in years. The girl won't come out. The observers are coming. In years, huh? Please calm down, Dr. Warfarin. If you shock or invite her to your operating table, you might stir up some repressed psychological trauma in that child. Then what does Kelsey plan to do? We might have the most advanced medical technology, but we can't treat patients through a door. But Dr. Kelsey said to give her some more time. If she doesn't want to open the door, we can't force her. Right, I found an old uniform jacket for her. There's no way she can wear whatever she had on before. She looks a lot more energetic after getting her out of those gritty, blood-soaked rags. Don't worry too much. Your subject, your patient, should recover soon enough. It's quiet again. Are the observers gone? They know I've been infected. They're waiting for me to give in, using treatment as bait to trick me into giving in. Ugh. You can't touch it, even if it's inside me. I can press down until it hurts, but I can't feel the originium. So they know I'm infected. They must know who I am. Has my cover been blown? I failed to kill that soldier. They're testing me. They want to know if I can still be used. That'll be great. It's been so long since I've gotten orders. I'll prove myself. There's a strange restraint on my leg. It looks like the tech that only Nomadic City would have. There's soft beds here too, and no sand stuck between the cracks of the walls. Just like living in dreamland. Can I be in the same place as that potty shaw? Excuse me, how are you doing? Are you still sleeping? I know, if you're starving, you can't eat a whole bunch of food in one sitting, so I made some very light porridge for you. Still asleep, huh? Well, I'll slide it through the little window here. Oh, hey there, Gummy. Are you in charge of breakfast today? I would have been out of bed at the crack of dawn if I knew. Oh, did you come to visit the new girl too? I was gonna ask if she wanted to put together a manicure set with me, but she never showed up. The folks in medical told me that she needs to rest up and that I shouldn't go bothering her. It's not like I'm going to door-to-door selling stuff. I just wanted to see if she felt like getting some fresh air. I finally found someone who looked great in blue nail polish. I'm not gonna let this opportunity slide by. Utage, you don't need to get so fired up or that kind of stuff. They're calling each other by name. It doesn't seem scripted. In other words, the ones who captured me are enemies. They confiscated my weapons. There's no sharp furniture here either. They're getting ready to interrogate me, and they don't plan on letting me escape before they do. And a lot of people here have seen me. I'm already useless. But it's okay. This is bound to happen one day. Oh right. Did she not touch the plates we brought her yesterday and the day before? Seems like it. Is she like those vipers who can just eat or not eat whenever they want? No clue. Isn't going hungry super sad though? Plus all the food is going to waste. Well, whatever. Sounds like our new friend is still sleeping, so let's not bother her. They're gone. Did they really say all those things so I could hear them? And of course Utag is interested. She's like, ooh, potential kindred in that case. Doctor, I never knew you had the time to come to the operator dorms. Whenever I pass by your office, I can tell you're totally swamped with operation materials and paperwork. Kelsey suggested I come visit her when I could. I want to see how she's doing. Getting to walk around is part of my exercise routine. I want to see how she's doing. Oh, that's right. Ever since medical took in the Manticore girl, everyone's been looking after her. We medics all want to help her. Even though her infection has already developed to an intermediate stage, with Rhodes Island's current technology, we can get it under control to prevent further deterioration. The data collected from the infection monitoring device shows that the originium crystals inside her are now quite active, and it doesn't help that she's weak from refusing to eat. None of us want to see our patients consume themselves like this. But if I was suddenly taken to a strange new environment and found myself lying at an operating table first thing after waking up, I'd be plenty scared too. So, I brought one of Hibiscus's healthy meals with me and plan on saying hi to her first, just as a token of her goodwill. Do you have any ideas, Doctor? Tell her Rhodes Island can protect her. That health food is the opposite of goodwill. Tell her Rose Island needs her skills. The health food is the opposite of goodwill. I like that one. Yeah, you have a point, Doctor. Healthy meals primarily incorporate cold foods, which may not sit well with someone who hasn't eaten in days, or be digestible enough to give her energy. Phew. With you here, I always feel better. I always feel like we have a better chance of persuading the other party. Oh right, and try not to be too graphic when describing what we do. You can share with her why you trust Rhodes Island. Me? I trust in Rhodes Island's determination to find a cure for apathy, and I deeply admire Dr. Kelsey's knowledge and ability. She might be an elite guard of some Lord Amir, or maybe Party Shelf Sargon themselves. It seemed like she was part of a group, so I'm thinking it's more like a assassination clan like Utage. Or heck, maybe they're not even a group. Maybe they're just people who are kind of like kidnapped, like the troop. Like, oh, the troop taking in the young ones and then raising them to be killers. And when I'm tending to the wounded in the dangerous operation, I have full faith that you'll be in firm control of the situation, so I don't have to focus on anything but my responsibilities as a medic operator. That's probably what I tell her. Doctor, did you want to come along with me? Yes, please. How long have you been hiding in here? Like, I don't think it's exactly the Crimson Troop, but something similar. Because they have masks on. Eek. You're too weak to kill a single beast to even feed yourself anymore. I don't want to be like this either. I'm not hiding on purpose. It's just that nobody can see me. I have no weapons. I've never touched a weapon. You were born a weapon. I've always been very careful. My tail's never hurt anyone. Who are you trying to deceive by feigning weakness? You no longer have an audience. Your apathy has progressed to the stage. Do you still think you can stay in the market as always, earning your next meal from somebody else's hands? How do you know? Who are you? You should know this well enough. There's no place for you in your old life. You must learn to wield a weapon. This is the only worth you now have. No, I won't. Look, this is a painkiller for apathy. You want to live, right? My team happens to have a spot for monsters like you. Join us. The leader will save you. Who is this leader? In this sussy group. Ugh. The familiar pangs of hunger, the sensation of her consciousness withering away due to dehydration. These things will sometimes happen in this stalking crouch. She's capable of judging her own body state, and if she's on the job, she won't lose control. However, every job she's had in the past specified a rendezvous point. As long as she could reach it, she'd have a chance to rest. There's nothing on the note this time. Even though I'm obviously useless now, I still want to be saved. Even though I already knew that the leader was lying. Hello? Hello. My name is Ansel. I'm sorry, but I don't know what to call you. But here at Rhodes Island, there are a lot of people who don't want to disclose their real names, so we go by code names. You can choose them for yourself. They keep talking about this Rhodes Island. Where is Rhodes Island? The same thing is written on the clothes. On these clothes. I completely understand. When you woke up, you found yourself in a strange new place. You must be very nervous. I just want to tell you that we don't have any ill will towards you. I was one of the assistants standing up to the side taking notes, so I hope you don't take this the wrong way. We're a non-state affiliated pharmaceutical company that hopes to help all infected people across Terra. Even though you didn't come to Rhodes Island voluntarily, and were brought here by accident, you're in very poor physical condition at the time, and we examined you as part of our duties as medics. He referred to this place as a pharmaceutical company. Is it a Colombian company? We really do want to help you, but if you don't want our help, then we won't force you either. Oh, but Rhodes Island is well outside Sargon's borders right now. Outside Sargon? If you want to go back, we wouldn't be able to
we wouldn't be able to let you off the ship until next time we're docked at Nomadic City. After that, you have to find your own way back. Of course, it'd be ideal if you chose to stay with us. Oh, and our medical examination won't intrude on your privacy. Also, someone should have already introduced you to the doctor, right?
The doctor. I keep hearing this title.
The doctor says your skills will be useful to us. Because the situation surrounding the infected can be rather dire, when we try to extend a helping hand to them, we inevitably run into conflicts with other people. So we're in need of partners who are able and willing to fight to protect others.
He said need. Does it mean I can still be useful?
Oh, but don't let that scare you. You'd probably just be a reserve operator like me. And all the regular operators talk about the doctor's reliable command. Plenty of regulars come back from life or death situations to tell me the doctor was the one who saved them.
Really? They won't send me to die?
Softly clears throat.
Hello?
Doctor, she doesn't seem to be responding. Do you need to get back to work?
No, please, wait.
I can't hear anything on the inside. She might still be sleeping.
Don't go. I had to prove myself. Commander, please don't leave me.
I'm worried about her, but I suppose we shouldn't bother her too much.
I'm right here. Please notice me. I want to live. The door seems to sway ever so slightly. I think she's listening. The door seems to sway ever so slightly. If you don't know how to answer, you can give me a codename first. What would you like me to call you? Pass your notepad and pencil through the door. Thank goodness we're having paper.
You're right, Doctor. For the operators in Rhodes Island, a raid of this sort would not be impossible. I also agree with putting some less experienced operators into this drill, so they won't be completely caught off guard when encountering invisible enemies on the battlefield. But there is one problem. We don't know anything about this assassin who goes by Manticore. You can't let her scribbles on a single piece of paper replace the formal application process, let alone serve as an application to participate in a combat exercise. She still hasn't talked about her past, and the only information we have on her background is still vague.
That's exactly why we can trust her.
Are you saying that once we win her over, she'll never betray... I see now. But first, how will Rhodes Island win her over?
With this battle.
When our operators have the ability to defend against her attacks, or even counter them, this mock battle will instead have the effect of demonstrating Rhodes Island's sincerity to her. Just like how an assassin places a knife by the monarch's pillow, so that the opposition knows she has the ability to strike at any time, but simply chooses not to. She should be able to get our meaning. Fine. I accept your proposal. I'll arrange for a video recording of this exercise to keep as part of her files. Doctor, I trust you'll be able to get exactly what we need.
And that's how you win her over. Poor Manticore. The way she was forced into the assassin life. She's a good girl. She just wants to live. Teleprotection training tool. Pretty. Nice and purple. A note stuck on the general store's warehouse door reads, "Sorry, I had to leave half an hour early today to see a doctor. I'm not feeling too good. I've been having a few sudden intense aches, and I think where I got scratched hasn't healed normally. I've already taken stock of everything for today, and those people who didn't like me didn't follow as far as the store. No worries." That doesn't sound good. A note stuck to the shabby bottle of perfume reads, "Thank you for always being with me all this time, and always being able to find me. This is a present for you. I know it's far from enough to thank you, so if there's anything else I can do for you, please be sure to tell me right away. Also, my sickness is mostly set to keep getting worse. If in time, this person can remind you of me every now and then I'm happy. It's alright if you can't remember me too. Aww." A note found in the market's grit paving reads, "Hello, do you need help sorting out goods or cleaning up dust? I can do other work too. It's not like I like to work in exchange for some food. You might not notice where I am, but please don't worry. I'll do everything as earnestly as possible. A note trapped beneath the dagger reads, Mission complete. A note stuck in the corner of the bulletin board of a Rhodes Island lounge, almost covered by the neighboring rainbow of stickers, it reads, Everyone at the get-together sang very well. I didn't think it was one bit noisy, but if you decide to move to a more soundproofed room next time, could you put up a notice on the bulletin board beforehand? Thank you to the person who recommended me drinks. I like that sour and sweet dark orange one a lot. Manticore. I want to know what drink that is. Sour and sweet dark orange one. It sounds tasty. I want. Speaking of drink, I'll be good. I'll drink some water. Water. Delicious. Yum. Okay, Eunectus, let's see how you're like. I love how the bird's with her. Freaking guy. In the machine. So far we got Tsundere with a heart of gold, and then we have an adorable shy assassin, and now Eunectus. Ma'am, how chaotic will your stuff be? I'm already just picturing chaos because, well, science and bird. Basic info, or so file. Basic info, codename Eunectus, gender female, combat experience none, place of birth Sargon, date of birth October 30, race Phidia, height 171 centimeters, infection status, confirmed infected by medical examination, physical exam, physical strength excellent, mobility standard, physical resilience excellent, tactical acumen normal, combat skill standard, originating march simulation standard. Ooh, she could be a ciscon since she's infatuated with Lancelot too. Profile: the leader of a certain tribe that resides in Akahuala, Gaviel's hometown. She was admitted into Rhodes Island after passing the operating examination and began receiving treatment at the same time. Her physical qualities are no less impressive than Gaviel's. Currently active in the battlefields with her trusted companion, the raging Ironhide. Clinical analysis: imaging tests have shown the outlines of her internal organs to be indistinct due to abnormal shadows. Originium granules have been detected in her circulatory system, confirming her to be infected with uropathy. Cell originium assimilation, 7%. Small traces of infection are visible on the surface of the body. Blood originium crystal density, 0.22. Operating Eunectus was infected at a relatively early age, and her condition is somewhat severe as it was never really kept in check. However, thanks to her excellent physical condition, the spread of the disease in her body has slowed down by a considerable degree, and it has further stabilized after receiving treatment. Further observation and regular treatment are required. Well, look what we have here. Your body's pretty well built, Gabrielle. Archive File 1. Eunectus is a Phidian girl whose interests can be described as somewhat peculiar. She isn't typed to actively raise conversations, nor is she the kind of person to keep quiet to herself. In many ways, her views and ideologies are much more normal compared to Gabrielle, who left home years ago, but she can be pretty stubborn when it comes to all matters machinery-related. When she first joined Rhodes Island, for a period of time she opted to use her real name, Zumama, as her codename, just as Tomimi did before her did. However, when closure christened the newly rebuilt Big Ugly, the raging Ironhide, she took the opportunity to give herself a new codename based on her tribe's name, Eunectus. That being said, a sizable number of her operators, such as Gabrielle, still call her name. Based on her own personal account, she rarely ever picks fights with anyone, her frequent bouts with Gabrielle during their childhoods notwithstanding. As such, this will not be accounted for in her combat experience evaluation. Archive File 2. According to Eunectus' own personal account, her knowledge of anything not related to her tribe can be attributed entirely to her book collection. This explains how even though she was able to hit it off with closure the moment she joined the engineering department, though just as quickly, she made closure so mad that she threw the bag of chips in her hand. Her common sense and knowledge about our day-to-day lives are peculiar to say the least. How does she make closure so mad? Nonetheless, how she was able to pick up foreign languages and robotics just by flipping through a few books goes to show her learning ability is remarkable. Not long after joining Rhodes Island, she further demonstrated this impressive ability. After just a few months, Closure personally approved her request to be assigned to the engineering department. Sadly, even though she was able to learn how to operate all sorts of machinery in no time, to this day she has shown no noticeable improvement when it comes to life outside her tribe. Oh, you think we just learned something big? It looks like those with strong physicality can slow the process of infection. Either with their suppressants, we got someone like Aurora, due to strong physicality as well as healthy. Gotta have a strong body. Archive File 3, after Eunectus joins Rhodes Island, she has become somewhat of a laughingstock thanks to her lack of understanding regarding anything she's unfamiliar with. And the funniest thing about her has to be her relationship with Lancet 2. The sight of Eunectus calling Lancet 2 her sister never fails to catch operators oblivious to this relationship of surprise. Of course, Lancet 2 is fairly popular amongst operators thanks to her personality, but Eunectus' passion for her is on another level. It isn't hard to fathom why, of course. Most of us have probably been so awestruck by something we've never so much as heard of that it sends chills down our spines at some point in our lives. The kind of moment that feels as though you flung open a whole new door, like discovering new uncharted lands. To Eunectus, the moment came as a child when she witnessed a nomadic city just passing through by chance. The gigantic machine, colored in its icy machinery colors, struck her with amazement like never before. That moment came again when she first heard Lancet 2 talk. This time, it was the possibilities that robotics has that struck her with amazement. She had her awakening. Wouldn't most operators be just as surprised when they first come across operations platforms that talk? The difference here is that most operators aren't all that interested in robots and therefore don't react the same way Eunectus does. On the other hand, while Eunectus shows extraordinary respect to other operations platforms as well, Lancet 2 is particularly dear to her. That is actually a glimpse of her normalcy. Her special treatment for Lancet 2 can be described as ritualistic and as a sort of emotional sustenance. This is a beacon she picked for herself in her new life, and it can even be seen as the manifestation of what she's always dreamt of achieving herself. Which is why, even though she's the developer of all the operations platforms, in the course that Eunectus has come to look up to as her master, Closure's never tried to put a stop to her so-called stupid apprentice's behavior. She probably knows exactly how Eunectus feels. Archive File 4. Although the Doctor's trip to Akahuala had a happy, almost comedic ending, there's still a point worthy of discussion, even though Eunectus' true goal has always been to build gigantic robots and nothing more. Had this series of events not transpired, she would have become the great chieftain, and under her rule, the Akahualan tribes would likely advance to a strange but nonetheless robotic era. By its very essence, it's an idea that runs against their traditions, a breakthrough. From this point of view, you could say that Gabrielle was the manifestation of tradition itself. She believed in her own strength and didn't seek any outside help. Having abided by this principle for years, this has become one of the most iconic examples of Akahualan tradition. In other words, by its very essence, this series of events can be seen as a conflict between traditions and breakthroughs. If it wasn't for Gabrielle's relationship with Eunectus, if it wasn't for the region's lax sense of tradition to begin with, and how modest Akahualan people are, history tells us all this would have ended very badly. Of course, that is simply conjecture, and this isn't to say that we were lucky things turned out the way they did. Rather, I wanted to pose an interesting question. If Gabrielle and Eunectus each represented a different lifestyle, Gabrielle's being the primitive yet free lifestyle, while Eunectus represented a more orderly lifestyle that relied upon tools, will we be able to say for sure that one is more correct and would lead to a better life? To take this question one step further, what makes a good lifestyle? There isn't a single correct answer to this question, but if you look at how Gabrielle and Eunectus are such polar opposites yet alike in some ways, I believe this would be an interesting question to ponder. It depends on the person. Some people like technology, some are fine without it. You like to imagine the next arc we'll see Gabio again since last time. Gabio has the right to become a Lord Emir of her home, Akahuala, and be one of the nobles of Sargon. So you might see Pepe and Gabio together. Ooh. That'd be cool. Promotion record. Eunictus' partner isn't actually the unit that the doctor's team encountered in the rainforest. The unit was called the Big Ugly Thing. With its enormous size, the Big Ugly wouldn't have fit in our aircrafts, and it ended up being destroyed anyway. As such, we only brought with us a small number of its spare parts on the way back. The unit we have now is a brand new unit that the whole engineering department worked together to build. The chief engineer named it the Raging Ironhide. On the outside, this new unit isn't all that different from its predecessor. Inside, however, it couldn't be more different from the haphazardly put together Big Ugly. It was the fruit of the whole engineering department putting their heads together, and supposedly Eunictus broke down in tears at the workshop when it was finally completed. To her, it was probably the most concrete step she had ever taken to make her dream a reality. Aside from this, after the Raging Ironhide was completed, the High Priest, who Eunictus has occasionally mentioned as the Big Ugly's pilot, has started popping up frequently here to Rhodes Island. In Rhodes Island, Dr. Kelsey has told the operators to pay it no mind. That kind of bothered me at first, but thanks to the High Priest's happy-go-lucky personality, it didn't take long for everyone to get used to having it around. I like how he's allowed to come and go as he pleases. Good for you, High Priest. Ooh, operator records, jungle fantasy, that sounds fun. No one knows what kind of wild fantasy she draws on the paper. Oh gosh, please don't be full of Delulu. What kind of fantasies do we have here? You're back, Zumama. I read your letter, but shouldn't Gabriel be dealing with the Padishah's discovery of the Durans? It's not that bad. Well, not anymore. I took a shipment of Duran Ale to his court, and that kind of washed away the suspicion that the spies had planted in his mind. Now he's convinced that it's just a bunch of drunkards who popped up in Alcohuala and can brew decent ale.
Tell himself then.
You're back too, High Priest.
Since when have I failed to come back after getting blown up?
You got blown up again? Please, High Priest, don't interrupt.
You heard that, Enam. Don't interrupt. Tell himself. Everybody's happy.
You went off the rails first. Never mind. Anyway, the ale went down so well with the Padishah that he ordered Alcohuala to start building things so it looks like people are actually living there and stop being an embarrassment to the satrapy. Now the Durans are busy building up their new settlement and don't have any time, so I had to call you back for the design. You think you can do it? Zumama? Those pretty steel buttresses by the lake. Oh? The steel-framed sandcastle. It's a model of the new Zaretza that stitch belt. The Durans loved it, and they're now modeling their new settlement after it. Wow. Wow is right. Now as their neighbor, we need you even more. What did the Tia Call say? No much other than bigger and taller. Hello, Silvermint. The one who wanted bigger got into a fight with the one who wanted taller. Who won?
Neither. It was a draw.
And hey, Diamond Face. Anyway, the Tiakal settlement is counting on you in order to compete with the Durans. You learned a bunch of stuff at Rhodes Island, didn't you? There's a different look in your eyes.
What about me?
You're fine the way you are. You can help it when you're in the mood. When you're not in the mood, well, it's not like anyone's counting on you anyway.
What? Did you hear what you said, girl? Girl, Zumama, Operator Eunictus?
Eunictus does not hear a word. She looks straight at the new Zererza by the lakeside. Perhaps she's admiring it. Perhaps she's still processing the shock. Or perhaps she's already thinking about competing with it.
Humph, well, if you put it that way, I'm not getting involved at all this time. You do whatever you want and don't come begging for help if you screw up.
Aw. Like, how freaking dare you ignore me? A few days later... You still here, High Priest? Are you not helping Zumama design the new settlement?
I said she can do it on her own this time, and it's none of my business. Your memory is lousy.
You've got a long memory for grudges.
I'm a man of my word. But it's been a few days. Where's Zumama?
You can always check for yourself if you're worried.
No, nah, not going to happen. Your high priest has got to lead by example.
Do you know what kind of settlement Zumama wants to build?
What kind?
Sir, you know nothing.
Inam,
How big of a project can Alcohuala support with the resources we got? Well, I'm not trying to answer that. What do you have in mind? Bigger. And? Taller. And? Let me think about it. Ah yes, bigger and taller.
So you didn't get an answer either.
It needs to be bigger and taller, Zumama said so. I've already started gathering materials. Will you help?
I said it's none of my business.
See yourself. A few days later...
Good morning.
Good morning, High Priest. Are you here for a bath?
No, just wanted to ask the girl who came to you lately.
Zumama? Yeah, she came.
How was she? Did she come begging for help with the spear in her eyes because Inam said what she designed wasn't realistic?
Not exactly.
Then what did she come for?
He's so worried, but doesn't want to show it. This guy. Yeah, they want it. Zoom, boom, and be cool. Croak, I wanted to ask, why haven't the Durans built a nomadic city with all your advanced technology? A what city? You mean those massive things with wheels that run around, transforming into fighting robots when they bump into enemies? Yeah, those. Let me think. Why indeed? Maybe it's because they're new enemies, or the underground railroads are too narrow? Those are both true, but I don't think they're the key reason. Thinking... Maybe it wouldn't be profitable? No, people would gladly pay for something as cool as a city that turns into a fighting robot. It must be because everyone is inside the city, so they don't get to see the city transform from the outside. Yes, that must be it.
What do you mean? Yes, this must be it. That must be it. Isn't it because there's no catastrophes underground?
No, what? Oh right, now I remember. People who come back from the surface say that's a thing.
Your drones are just as unreliable as a Tiyaka. Wait, she's building a nomadic city without me?
Didn't you say you weren't helping? That's what Inam said.
That's none of your business. But there's so much to do in order to build a nomadic city. It's not going to build itself while she shuts herself in a room, is it?
Now he wants to get involved, huh? What happened to leading by example, dude?
Yota, do you think we're spending too much time using fully automatic high-power saws? Should we get some time working out? Weren't you telling me to rest more a little while back? Hey, what's that below the high-pressure saw? It just showed up. High-power saw. No, it's a high priest. Now you're getting even worse. How'd you get those mixed up? It's high power, no R after the P. I mean, he means me. Oh hey, high priest. Haven't seen you in a while. Yes, it's been a while. I heard the girl summoned you yesterday. Yeah. No. We didn't see Zumama. Then who are you cutting down trees for? Drop the act. More than one witness saw you meeting with Zumama. What did she say to you? Oh, No Man's City.
First we need wood.
If you need trees cut down, you've come to the right guys. What kind of wood do you need?
The thicker the better. Needs to bear a lot of weight. And don't tell anyone, especially not the Durans.
Why?
They might not be happy about it. Better that I tell them myself.
I knew it. She's building a nomadic city. But why does she want wood that can bear a ton of weight? A lot of weight. Is she trying to build a nomadic city out of wood? That's crazy. And what does it have to do with the Durans? They're not trying to build a nomadic city. Wait, didn't Imam say she wanted to design a design to compete with the Durans? A nomadic city is more impressive than buildings fixed to the ground, of course. But what the Tiakal build won't look anywhere near as spectacular as Stitch's design. She's not trying to recreate that model by the lake on a mobile platform, is she? That's crazy. Not even she would do that. But if she did, I've got to stop her. She doesn't know what she's getting herself into.
Well, Mian, I must be hallucinating after spending too much time with the blueprints.
Who are you calling hallucination, kid?
I thought you went back to Akahuala.
You lose all your hair if you keep minding things that aren't your business.
How far are these locations from each other? Cause he's traveling super duper fast, Mr. High Priest.
A nomadic city in the jungle. Let me see your plans. Here. Mumbles, don't blame me for borrowing your homework, girl. This is for the good of everyone.
Pretty standard stuff.
When did you learn all this?
Huh?
Do you know what these thick pipes are?
And these fists that I see on the diagram?
Gun barrels and robotic arms. There are also missile pods here. What about residential? Where are people going to live? Underneath the guns, storage room, cockpit, mostly under the guns because there are plenty of those.
Oh my goodness! What a design!
That wasn't really intended as a question. I figured as much. I'm almost touched she gave serious thought to commercial infrastructure and transportation. Never mind that. I came to ask you for permission, Stitch, because this is this is serious. Won't you let the girl copy your design?
You mean, build the exact settlement that I designed, except on a mobile platform?
I know it might be hard to accept, but sure.
That was easy.
Huh?
My design incorporates a lot of Akahualan elements, and the Durans and Tiakal living together was one of the things I considered. If Unectus is okay with that, it's fine by me. I'm curious to see how she puts my design onto a mobile platform.
You'll probably faint when you see it.
But I have to ask, if Unectus wants to build a nomadic city, why is the design basically a mobile fortress? Because maybe she's not actually trying to build that exactly. It might also be that the landship is close to Akahuala during this time. Or High Priest just has his ways. I'm hoping it's just close enough. If not, dang, dude.
Let's go shopping, Zumama.
I'm going back.
It's your first time setting foot in a nomadic city. Aren't you happy about it?
I was happy. I thought it would bring me one step closer to my dream. But I was wrong. The picture etched into my memory. What I really want is a massive construct of steel moving slowly before my eyes. Steel walls at the height of a waterfall, gleaming metal brighter than the sun, treading trees that have stood for thousands of years into dust. Absolute strength, absolute power, nothing so mundane.
I see. It's not beauty she's looking for, it's power. Exactly.
But that's not what she's like at Rhodes Island.
She spends all day chatting with the robots at Rose Island. They're like sisters. It's pretty cute. I don't think it's arbitrary.
Yeah, she wants a Gundam.
Time for your checkup, Stitch. Are you coming out yourself, or do you have to come in to get come in and get you. Gabriel, I'm coming out. Don't come in.
Like, don't drag me out, Gabriel. You'll break my stuff. A few days later...
Anyway, the girl wants to replicate a Duran settlement and move it onto a mobile platform. Well, the Duran problem was coming to head sooner or later. Fast tracking it isn't such a bad thing. Just that it's maybe a little too conspicuous. Maybe give it a bit of polish. Make the patty shell dependent on us, rather than fearful of us. I have to say, Enam, as far as being a Lord Amir is concerned, you're better than Gabrielle.
I'll take that as a compliment. How did you know all this? Couldn't resist talking to her?
Of course not. All the results of painstaking investigation.
Anyway, now that we know what Zumama wants to do, we should help her deal with the aftermath. You can go. If there's nothing else you need.
Do you think I came to ask for help? No, I came to help you. Follow me.
Already? Cave? Orvain? How do you find a place like this?
I used to live here. It turned into a mine after some geological changes.
No wonder Zumama has a knack for finding all sorts of metals that I've never seen before.
This is where the Big Ali was built. It was abandoned after the girl decided to leave Alcohuala.
Why did you bring me here?
Find a way to accidentally discover this ore vein and offer it to the Padishah. Should be enough to buy a nomadic city permit.
That would be a bad deal for you. The Padishah would be the first to offer his support if we build the nomadic city as a Duran brewing platform.
Deep breath, deep breath.
I like that. She's like, thanks, but no thanks, old man. I have my own plans. He's like, wow, she's not gonna listen to me. I see how it is. Deep breaths. I appreciate it, though. It may not be useful right now, but it could come in handy in the future. I have a question, though.
Please ask.
I've seen my fair share of eccentrics, but your mysteries might top them all. Why did you suddenly show up with Zumama? How did you end up living with her, and even doing all this to help her?
Why?
The High Priest is used to this question from Zumama, but not from others. Is it because Zumama was the first in this jungle to hold nuts and bolts in her hands? Because at heart, he's a lover of machines? Because he was lonely for so long and wanted someone interesting to talk to?
When developing the Big Ali, she said to me, "We'll make this machine together, and then you'll drive it, High Priest."
That's a good story.
I like it too.
Then shouldn't you be helping her with the design?
Can't go back on my word. Besides, it's high time she stood on her own 2 feet.
Was it anger all an act?
Burden be stung.
Yes or no?
Of course! You have quite the mean streak in you. That's why you make a good Lord Amir.
Alright, enough joking around. I really do think you should give Zumama a hand. I think they're almost ready to start.
Well, if you insist, I'll go back on my word just this once.
It's not like I want to help her or anything, that I miss her or anything. It's because you told me to help her. She's not in?
Not in her room, at least. What about Yogi and Yota? They might know something.
The neighbor said that they went out early.
Hey, do you know where Zumama, Yogi, and Yota went?
What's Zumama doing here?
I remember this place.
Flashback. Yeah, he's the type to be like, I'm not gonna taste your cooking. I'm just taking a bath that I can drink. He is a type. He's a tsundere. He's another tsundere. High Priest, Inam, what are you doing here?
Worried about you. Ahem, ahem. Why are you wearing protective gear? And the direction you came from is...
The ruins of Zererza.
Why'd you go there?
the dust disperses and the High Priest sees what is in the carts behind Eunectus.
You're picking up junk in the ruins of Zerarza?
I guess not a flashback though, just the dust. It's not junk. Look, a Durin door frame. It took a ton of work to get it out from under the rubble. And this is part of the great Alcopit slide. I couldn't bring the whole thing back, so I cut off the bottom part, which had the most interesting design.
That's the definition of junk. I thought you were bringing Stitch's new Zerarza design onto a mobile platform.
Oh, hello. What? Why? It's a competition. What's the point of doing what the Durins are doing?
Weren't you worried that the Durins would be unhappy?
I was going onto the ruins of Zerarza after all. It was their home, even if it was destroyed. But I asked the coach and she said I could take anything that I wanted.
The reason you had Yogi and Yoto cut trees.
I needed a decent cart to bring the stuff back.
Don't tell me you weren't planning to build a nomadic city at all.
Stifles laughter. How about we go back and you take your time to tell us what your plan is? There's no need for that. The High Priest just said it. I'm building a nomadic city.
Really?
Really?
Phew, well... What do you have to see now, Inam?
What do I have to say? It's not like I said anything.
Forget that black-hearted Lord Amir. How do you plan to build a nomadic city? With this junk that you dug up from the underground?
Yeah, but that's not important. What's really important is... Model R3E3 Assistant Robot. Number 0332 reporting in. Model R3E3 Assistant Robot. Number 0719 reporting in. Model R3E3 Assistant Robot. Number 0086.
So you want to save your friends?
Not entirely. Here's what I think. The nomadic city of the Teokal needs to be ahead of its time. It needs to be incredible. As far as designs is concerned, I could never compete with Stitch. That's why I'm building a living city. My friends here, once fixed, will become the building blocks of the new city.
The robots will be your new city's building blocks, and then?
3 friends make 1 large unit, and 5 large units makes 1 huge unit. Unit after unit until they're the size of a nomadic city. That way, you can get an answer no matter which part of the city you talk to, and the whole nomadic city will be friends with the people living inside it.
Okay. Where would the people live?
Don't worry. I thought about it. Here are the blueprints.
I'll just look past a multitude of problems right now, problem after problem, yet some of them might just work.
I think it'll work.
First though, you need to tell me what's going on with this shape. It's absolute madness. One domed roof, 3 pairs of wheels, medical equipment, a city-sized... Lancet 2?
She makes a cubic sister, doesn't she? I love how this is just like a giant mishmash of stuff that she likes. Look at the last page of the plans. I want to see her ideal, her idea. I've got everything thought out. A supercomputer in the center of the city, controlling all the robot friends. I made the connector round so that Lancet 2 can sit in it.
What about me? Did you give a single thought about me when designing the city? After all the worrying I did for your sake?
Dude. Hello. I hope I had enough crashing for one day, because, oh, that was bad. First it was OBS, then it was my computer. And now I'm here.
You know what? Screw it. Do whatever you want. It's none of my business. I'm going on a long trip.
Your room's here, High Priest.
What's this? Way out in the corner? This isn't the least bit cool compared to that round supercomputer connector. And it's right next to a warehouse.
That's my bedroom. You'll be right next door to me. You can come visit at any time. High Priest is at a loss for words. Inam can no longer stifle her laughter. Well, how about it? We hope Sumama or not. He was jealous. But he's like, oh wait! She wants to be neighbors with me. Aww. Okay, fine. Let's do the thing. Let's make the city what you want. It's like, thank you. That is so cute. That is adorable. Anyway, let me check real quick. Load. Okay. There's Akahuala. And so close to the sea, too. Finally, the High Priest comes to terms with his emotions and composes himself, even finding the wherewithal to give his ridiculous glasses a little pompous push.
Of course I'm helping. First step will be a trip to Rhodes Island on your behalf.
For what?
To ask the subject of your blueprints. Whether the robot who won't even let you drink coffee will let you do this.
This feels like a High Priest record, which is kind of cute. I like how supportive he is in the end. Ooh, look at her stuff. Dang, she has 3. Zumama's toolbox. Evaluation number RDLED SG03. Operator codename Unectus. Full name Zumama. Time registered half a year. Participant in number 1, design development, component production, and assembly of colossal scale machine, Raging Ironhide. 2, testing, restoration, and upgrades of all new energy emission devices in the training grounds. 3, improved designs for remote control drone swarm weapon mounting plans. Number 4, servicing of Rhodes Island landship automated navigation systems. Number 5, self-research planning for some machine hyper remodeling. Audited and launched with the engineering department. Number 12. Daily maintenance, painting and emotional communication with, and guidance of intelligent operation platform, Lancet 2. Notes applied for by the operator herself and not conducted under official engineering department authority. Engineering department does not interfere excessively in light of Lancet 2's behavioral non-rejection of Unectus. Overall evaluation. Operator Unectus has participated in multiple projects and displayed impressive performance in all aspects since joining the engineering department, and now tentatively possesses the capacity to research, develop, and work independently. Supplement from officer in charge, directly dictated. Geez, do we have to make these evaluations so formal every time? Could be doing work here. If someone's my disciple, they're worth educating. She learned how to test micro capacitator unit performance, and then straight away she managed to fumble a whole breadboard together. She's gifted, really resembles me there. And she's hardworking, read through every single engineering book the landship has over the past half a year, and she finds people to discuss with everywhere. They don't put half of the true might of technology to print though. She's got a lot more to learn. As for why she's so eager, well, don't ask me. Probably hasn't scooped her jaw up from off the floor since she landed on Rhodes Island. She's had 2 sort of major awakenings in her life, right? First was seeing a nomadic city pass by with her own eyes when she was a kid. Second was seeing the talking Lancet 2 in Akahuala. I could see the hopes in her, for machines for herself. There's a possibility in there, in the not-distant future. I bet she'll be able to build machines with her own 2 hands that surprise even herself. Maybe her creations will lead Terra in a technological innovation. I might just hand my chief engineer position to her when the time comes. It's not out of the question. The last one was a joke, don't write it down. Date December 13, approver closure. Nah, that ain't a joke. The ugly little thing. The little ugly thing. The second one. The little ugly thing. Just what were those massive things sailing across the barrens? Zumama couldn't figure it out. Try as she might over 3 straight sleepless nights. Yavil saw the heavy bags under Zumama's eyes, and on one hand showed the appropriate concern, while the other hand was clenched in a fist, as unreserved as ever. Zumama crashed to the floor, but showed no signs of getting back. Showed no hurry to get back up. Old man Zulazak said that those things are nomadic cities. What's a nomadic city? Zumama asked as she stared up at the blue sky, giving her friend the same question she had been bothering her for 3 whole days. She'd never been this hung up before. Even the mushrooms she'd always seen before growing on the trees only lingered on her mind for a day and a half. Gabrielle gave an answer, one she considered incredibly wise, a saying she heard from an old man, Zulazak. It is why it is, and that's why it is. Then she started pumping her arms. You rested enough, Zumama. Let's keep going. Zumama suddenly felt a little listless. She got up and walked up to where the nomadic city had still passed. Its outline was still faintly visible, but her eyes could see far further than her feet could take her. How could a child's gait ever catch up to a sailing machine? Sunset came as she felt the distance between her and the nomadic city hadn't narrowed one bit. Well, Gavin just wants to fight her right now. Like, wow. You wouldn't want anything to happen to Closure. I mean, it doesn't necessarily think something bad will happen to Closure. She could just retire. Be like, well, I think it's time for me to retire. You know, you can take up the mantle now. Bye. She felt somewhat dejected and gloomily sat on the ground, but bumped against something as she did. From underneath her, she pulled a strange metallic ring. Zumama had once witnessed the most experienced boy of the tribe show off roughly the same thing. What was it called again? A short name. A nud? Maybe a nup? Zumama put it in her pocket. It was likely the thing hadn't even come off the nomadic city. It was just some careless travelers dropping belongings, but all the same, Zumama loved it very much. She began to collect these abandoned and scrap metal parts, putting them together with no principle whatsoever. At first, she bound them with thread, then stuck them together with glue, until she eventually learned from a passing caravan what welding was. Finally one day, the strange little contraption was born from Zumama's hands. Gabrielle Tomimi's verdict was ugly, but still, she loved it very much. She clasped it in her hands, and came to where she once saw the nomadic city. It had long since vanished, but Zumama always had a feeling. She could sense the tremors from it as it sailed. Suddenly, a strange library showed up beside her and asked, "What's in your mind there, young lady?" She tightly gripped the tiny, ugly little thing in her hands, so hard that her fingers hurt. "I want to make it move." I like her motivation. Oh gosh darn, she makes a thing and then her friends are like, ugly! But at least she took it with pride. She's like, whatever. It's beautiful in my eyes. There's some things that are so ugly they're cute. Eunectus's specialized badge. Everything's yellow. She might do great wonders in Colombia, but you feel this is more of a passion than an obsession. What you think wouldn't mesh well with someone like her? She needs more freedom. Eunectus's specialized badge. In light of special permissions granted, the Field Operations Department has hence passed the following resolution with respect to Eunectus. Where the entailing mission would fall under Reclamation Algorithm scope, this operator shall be pursuant to tactics of a reinforced nature in meeting the enemy, a witness whereof, this badge is hereby conferred upon the above named. It's simple, push the button, and that mountain will be blown to pieces. How nice. I like that. She wants to chase her dreams. Hello, hello. And now for passenger. Look at how pretty he is. Pretty, pretty passenger. And let me take some more water first. Hydration. Later on, I gotta air my room out though. Stinky, stinky. And I can't wait to see how many bodies are gonna be in the fly trap. And that's gonna be fun to check it out. I'm excited. And if it works well, I'll take one to work. I'll bring my own traps at this point. My legs have been devoured during work. It's unfortunate. Basic info, codename passenger, gender male, combat experience 16 years, place of birth Colombia, date of birth September 1, race Liberi, height 187 centimeters, infection status, originium crystals distributed across surface of body, confirmed infected by medical examination, physical exam, physical strength normal, mobility standard, physical resilience standard, tactical acumen excellent, combat skills standard, originium assimilation excellent, profile, operator passenger was born in Colombia, he graduated at age 13, wow, good for him, with exceptional marks, at which point he was recruited by Professor Thorne to work as a research assistant in his study of applied originium engineering and began a course of study at the Blaine Formative Technologies Research Institute. A project took him to Sargon nearly 20 years ago, at which point he disappeared. Eventually, he came into contact with Rhodes Island, operating around the black market in the Ebut region. He arrived as an infected seeking treatment, and has since been brought into active service as an operator for the engineering department. It is kind of nice though, having it all separated. Plus, at least we got the stuff out of the way. Because oh my goodness, that was pretty bad earlier. I wonder what happened earlier. I'm gonna try to patch my OBS files, maybe that'll help a bit. Cause scary. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests show the indistinct outlines of internal organs, obscured by abnormal shadows, originium granules detected in the circulatory system. The subject is confirmed to be infected with erypathy. Cell originium simulation, 7%. The operator's forehead shows some crystal distribution. The actual infection may be more severe than expected due to the location of the originium crystals. Blood originium crystal density, 0.29. Operator passengers spent considerable time in a harsh environment working with originium machinery without proper safety or infection response measures. The outlook of his disease is not optimistic. A thorough examination revealed no clear complications, but we're not out of the woods yet. The information on the operator's forehead leaves me worried that passenger's condition could suddenly and rapidly deteriorate at some point. I hope he'll actively cooperate with our course of treatment to prevent the worst from happening. Medic operator. Archive File 1. The engineering department reverse engineered the various self-propelled machines passenger brought with him to eye-opening results. For several reasons, passenger was unable to get the cutting-edge Colombian lab materials he needed in Sargon. So his arts unit is extremely primitive. Even so, he was still able to independently develop an effective mechanical device, realizing a variety of self-propelled weapons with impressive energy output. What a genius. Ooh. I'm not sure. For 80 plus slides. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, not sure at all. When asked about his technology, Passenger does not shy away from the topic. It's a prototype from some experimental excavation in Colombia, which researchers believe has to be with ancient Sarkaz witchcraft. They appear to have used a rare form of art to enrich originium, with several enriched crystals marking the perimeter. A Colombian institute involved in the project anticipated a breakthrough to the whole new energy source, and went to work quickly. Passenger did not reveal what happened next, but it is worth noting that many engineering operators like to give names and other personifying features to their creations, while others distinguish them with numerical designations. But this operator does not so treat his machinery. His usage borders on the wasteful, scrapping them without hesitation after a single test. Does he have no heart? Archive File 2. Operator Passenger's performance at Rhodes Island has been more than satisfactory. Naturally, this is a good thing. Some operators are known to make trouble. But Passenger's history as the Sand Soldier of Sargon, while seemingly only the leader of a little black market operation of which there are many in Sargon, has proven quite valuable. He has the skills as well as the wealth, and brought with him a stable source of supplies and mercenary, messenger and caravan contacts, legal and otherwise, in the Ebot region. This too is good, but he's provided this all essentially free of charge. Free! Do you know what that means? It's unsettling. The engineering operators say he's nothing near a ferociously dedicated machinist, even with incredible technical skill. Not only that, but he has little interest in the plight of the infected. His room is suspiciously immaculate, neat to the point that he may have some pathology. Likewise, he has a tendency to tinker with parts of the room, scattering metal shavings across the floor. Baffling. By the way, the only device he's ever named was a special energy charging device he calls Thorn. Oh, I'm babbling on again. Forgive me for this potentially rude question. What is it this man cares for? What does he live for? The way they're questioning him so much. He's like, he's a weirdo. How dare he throw stuff out after one-time use? And look at him. His room is so clean. And he only named one thing, and he named it Thorn. Thorn, Thorn, Thorn. That is so funny. That is so incredibly funny. Archive File 3. Passenger. It's almost a parody of a name one might give oneself, but the truth is he does not know where he is going. He's just along for the ride. Perfect name for him. He has openly admitted his involvement in several horrific murders in Sargon, having spent 20 years there on a quest for revenge. Granted, revenge is not particularly a rare motivation. Yeah, how dare he be neat and tidy? He must be an interdimensional demon serial killer. It's the only explanation. Clearly. But this Elliot, a young research assistant of Colombian origin, spent decades transforming himself into a man of Sargon. He has cultivated contacts, wealth, and power in the Ebot region. His unique black market brought local nobles and foreign businessmen alike into his orbit. After getting his revenge, all that he built over 20 years, he simply discarded. A black marketer. Starting as a lowly assistant, rose to prominence and gave it all up in an instant. He could have lived like the Lord Emir of Ebot after getting his revenge. This has some in HR worried about Elliot's intentions after changing his name and coming to Rhodes Island. When pressed on this point, Elliot, operated passenger himself, shot a hole through our doubts. He stated that he stared at the black coffee in his hand for a moment before giving his answer. I hate Sargon, I hate the sand, and I hate everything about it, and I always have. Archive File 4. Dr. Kelsey. Sessa. Since his travel at Rhodes Island, only these two individuals seem to have caught his attention. Admittedly, he is polite and meticulous in his work, but after meeting a target from the engineering department or returning victorious from a mission, there is no emotional change in his eyes at all. Basically, fuck the sand. He does not keep secrets, except for the most crucial ones. He describes his experiences and current situation clearly and concisely to anyone who asks, as if he has a speech memorized. Not everyone can face his past with such attitude. After the fire that brought his revenge to completion, he felt relief. But what was to come next? Where does he go after leaving behind the golden sands of Sargon? Passenger once described Dr. Kelsey as a savior, though I never saw a hint of gratitude in his remark and his trademark smile as he said it. He clearly trusts Dr. Kelsey on some level, and if Kelsey never said another word about how they met in Sargon, he would never share anything personal about her. As for Sessa, Passenger is dangerously concerned with Sessa. Only very few people, including the doctor, know that Sessa is investigating a certain Colombian military contractor. Unfortunately, Sessa's incomplete revenge fits all the elements of Passenger's attention. He's even eager to help Sessa piece together the truth. If it were not for the limitations placed on Rhodes Island operators, it is hard to imagine what Sessa and Passenger might be able to exact on the Colombian corporation. Wow, his name in Sargon is a Sand Soldier. No wonder why he changed it again, or to passenger. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna keep my name. The main reason why Passenger has not acted more rashly thus far is the doctor. No matter what his feelings towards the doctor may be, his primary interest seems to be in the actions and accomplishments. He may feel some kinship with the doctor over their unique life experiences, or you may find comfort in having a commander to give him orders and direction. Either way, we will watch this development carefully. As he said, he left Columbia, he left Sargon, and now he's at Rhodes Island. Wherever he is in the world, he's but a passenger, an outsider, along for the ride. Promotion record. I was only a stone's throw from death. Kelsey gave me this opportunity. Old Easton gave me this power. I had my revenge on those who tried to control my destiny. I won. I spent countless hours and exhausted countless prospects. I took back control of annihilating fate. Now, it is time for me to make my break with the past. But what do I do next? Where do I go? Doctor, I hope you can tell me, on Kelsey's behalf, how much time do I have left before Rapidity takes me? How can I use this time to make my death mean something? You are my commander now. I am at your disposal. No, you're not at our disposal, dude. No, no, no. Ooh, he has two. Electromagnetic regulator. Fancy. Yeah, I know, right? My revenge was a fulfilling chapter of my life. Water. Water. Trudging endlessly through the sandstorm, gone a full day without water, my body has slowly begun to lose the strength to stand. Kelsey hasn't a water bottle, instead coldly telling me to hold on for a little longer. Soon after continuing on her own brisk way ahead. How long have we spent slogging through these winds? 3 hours? 5? The golden sands rushed through my clothes. Tempest throwing the dust against my face without reprieve. So rough against my eyes that I have to keep them shut. But we can't stop yet. The sarcasm mercenaries behind us are still fast on our tail. They're trained and tireless. Even a sandstorm couldn't hold their march back. And the water might have been drunk dry long ago. I've heard traditions that in the desert, filling empty canteens with sand can give people hope. But right now, I've drunk enough sand. Water. I just want one gulp of water. Even if it costs every coin of mine in exchange, I would do it. But these wilds, the shine of metal has no meaning at all. Clutching the silver case tight, I grit my teeth and keep striding. My ears are battered with mournful screams, like the deceased are howling and ghosts are calling. Maybe Professor Thorne is among them calling my name, but I can't quite make it out. How long has my brain spent filled with these noises now? 3 minutes, 3 hours, or 3 years? That's a big difference, my dude. Yeah, oh, they say revenge is empty. Well, clearly it's called skill issue. The most calm Avenger. The dust has blocked the sky out, day and night, all the same now. Time practically stood still, and only the people seeking to survive through all this still endure through the welter of punishment. Through this welter of punishment. I just wanted to research. I just want to offer my strength to the furtherment of science. I didn't want this. Desiccating away in this sea of sands. Not like this. My head aches and swells and stings, my body seemingly gone long without any sense. Am I walking? Am I watching this body named Elliot squirm? No, thinking too has become too much to ask. Only one thing wanders in my head. A single order. Move. Move, move, move. But the desert is limitless. Elliot, open your mouth. Open my mouth? I subconsciously slacken my muscles, but my lips and teeth reveal the channel to my oral cavity. A fruit coated in sand and soils lands in my mouth. Acrid and sweat? Acrid and sweet? Oh, it's water. It's water. It's water. Since when? I don't know. But there's no more wind in my ears. The land has returned to peace, and there's only sun, sand, and 2 earthly humans walking through the dunes. I gaze off far. Beyond the yellow dust is still more yellow dust. No end is in sight. just like technical documentation scattered all across the ground to be trodden by wet leather shoes, no longer able to be reassembled nor made sense of. In anger, I kick at the sand and watch it tumble and slide down the dune, then blend again into the desert as if nothing ever happened. Sand, sand. I begin to hate sand for the first time in my entire life. Let's go. We'll be able to replenish supplies very soon. Kelsey interrupts my train of thought. Very soon? How soon can it be? And resupply? How much could that be? But Kelsey never promises hope to anyone, but at least, I think I can see a cactus. Yay for cactus. Now for the gold of crowns. The Reef Steep Black Market, where I was born anew. At the end of the Western Passage, one can see the land and the sky. Once it was an arms dealer's territory, I worked under him in my first few years in this place. He was a born despo. He left several welts on my back, but I have no hate for him. It was only natural, see, just as it was only natural that his irate underling slit his throat in drunkenness before throwing him off a cliff. I placed my first gold coin in those turncoats' hands, and it was warm to the touch. The northern oasis, Reef Steep's border. For a time and an age, the favorite turf of the mercenaries, soldiers were replaced batch by batch, but there was only ever one leader. My biggest customer, and the one who taught me how to taste wine. But that winter, he died. He died in front of my storehouse, his body bruised and battered. Sheesh! He coveted my creations and died to my precautions. Mercenaries keep no loyalty, and thus I rewarded his subordinates at his funeral. Unfortunately, his life couldn't even buy a decent bottle of wine. The southern side where the towns sit. Messengers and merchants come and go in spades. The valley they trade in circulating through the villages. The lords recognize as much, hence why Ibut's lord, Amir, had such a special fondness for this place. Sargon's unbearably chaotic, barbaric politics have never interested me, but I needed the lord's support. The division of powers within the Reef Steep Black Market worried me so much that I'm loath to mention it. But we all had something to say when it came to the lord. I'm surprised I held such a frail relations for so long. A lord that doesn't judge by the cover, perhaps? Out of respect, I didn't personally attend the revolt. But once his family were puppets, I did show up to pay my respects to that poor boy. He was akin to Elliot, akin to me. The Reef Steep Black Market Center, an old tomb lies there, an ancient pasha's grave. Every night, Easton carefully wipes his memory under the light of the stars. A long time ago, I exhausted his wealth, and by now, I've repaid him several times over. But he doesn't pay any mind. His age looms by the day, and aside from a few errant, insignificant questions, we never even speak. That day, old Easton asked me why others called me Sand Soldier. Sand Soldier. The meaninglessness of a grain of sand, the pathetic fate of a pawn. The term is filled with significance I abhor, hence why I gladly accepted it. As a price paid in advance for the impossible trial to follow, the Reef Steep Black Market and its towns, and they were fuel ready for the fire. I waited for the Lord Emir of Ibut to come. If I could, I would have burned even the golden sands to nothing. And in the final moment before I set the flame alight, what came to mind was that afternoon a young Elliot Glover was taken to tour an Institute of Science, where he sees a new model of Originium engine ignite and combust, upon which a tremendous machine stirs to life. He's always remembered how much that moved him. I've always remembered. And hello, welcome. Welcome to the sands. Hey. Welcome to the sands. Hello. Oh man, that's so sad. The difference in all of them. You think we've gotten a glimpse when it comes to the inner workings of Sargon higher positions? Truly, Elliot may indeed be the calmest fire and avenger that we've seen, but still burns hot, yes. He's like, I've been there, done that. Now I'm just a passenger. Now we chill for now. Poor dude, though. He's been through so much. And like, even for his skin, there's still a storm in the background. And all the sand he cannot escape. Just E. RE1 story is actually pretty good. Ooh, that's good to know. You like Tuya and Manticore? Ooh, for me, let's see. Let me stare at them again. Tuya was surprisingly sweet. I did not expect that. Like, sure, she talks harsh, but she's a tsundere, so it's understandable. Manticore was surprisingly adorable. I want to know what group raised her, cause sheesh. They picked her up, being like, we know your powers, girl. Come here if you want to live. And who was she sent after? Like, dang, just dang. Poor Manticore. And then Eunectus. Oh, Eunectus. I like your childlike wonder when it comes to machinery. She just wants a giant Gundam. Good for her. And the High Priest also being a tsundere. Freaking High Priest. I know, right? Like, who is she assigned to kill at that point? Are we gonna see them later on? Are we gonna see her old group? We might not be able to see that exact person that sent her out, since she said that the voice behind the mask constantly changes. So at that point, they probably changed again. But the mask itself might be recognizable. Potentially. And then there's Passenger. Oh, Passenger. Him and his sad past. But I do think it's funny how, for his files, the person writing his file was so confused about him. It's like, what is your deal, sir? I don't understand you. Oh gosh, if it's another ageless. No! Stinky ageless. They gotta get bonked like in Phantom's event. Like, that'd be satisfying. But I don't want Manticore to have to do that. Protect little Manticore. Keep her happy. Keep her safe. And let her hang out with the others. It's so cute how everyone wanted to hang out with her and even paint her nails. Like, that would have been sweet, seeing that too. And maybe later on. Or in a comic. Ooh, you wonder if she has any attachments for the group that she was in. I mean, maybe, since they did raise her for a bit. They took her off the streets. So I could see her having a soft spot for it, even if they are harsh. Like how she was saying that, like, oh no, I'm probably not useful, huh? But I need to be useful, I want to live. Though I doubt she'd ever go back to them, even if given the chance. She'd be like, nah, Rhodes Island treats me good. I like them too. Or I like them more. Humph. Though between the last two people, for Kestrel and Pepe, I'm excited for Pepe, because I like Pepe. You heard not useful who called you out. That was for Manticore's story. It'll be fun seeing how it's gonna be for the story for the Sands. I'm excited for the insanity. How many do you think it's gonna end up taking for Tales Within the Sand? Okay, if it's just like 2, that's easy enough. Yeah, I can start like an hour earlier than usual, aka 6 PM instead of 7 PM. I'll do that for the Tales Within the Sand. Rush. That'll give me more chill before the next event. Oh, chapter 16. It'll be fun, see how insane it's gonna be. Going through that and then eventually whatever next event comes out. But gosh darn it, I'm just happy that the next limited event's not gonna be for a bit. I gotta save up again. Cause right now, Enya still hasn't come home. Enya, my saintess, please. Don't you want to hang out with Char? Don't you want to hang out with your little sister Encia? Maybe beat up your big bro, Enciotis? You can bonk him a few times, you can freeze him, it's fine. Okay, that's good. Yay for a rerun before the next event. That'll make life so much easier. Need to save up. Just and time to go through chapter 16. Very, very good. And heck, by the time I catch up to Arknights, maybe they'll finally drop the rerun for Corposant inside of GFL2 since I missed Corposant, which is a lot, and it's supposed to be super important, but I missed it, so teehee. Once that comes back, I gotta do that. Cries. But it's okay, there's time in the world. I don't want to jinx it, but it's not like they're gonna do a bunch of construction again at night, I hope. Knock, knock, knock. Yeah, I'm knocking on wood just in case. I'm not gonna jinx it. I feel fear saying that. Palms sweaty. Okay, this is gonna sound really sus in a way, but there's one game that I wanna start playing more of. Final Fantasy. Was it 14? Is that the one that has a collab with Jollibee? Just because I want to go to Jollibee and buy the code, so that now I can use it. My motivation is so bad because food. It's like clearly I gotta play this game because food. If there's a food related thing, plus it looks funny. The shirts look very, very funny. Yeah, they're psychic. It's E, or was it 16? I don't know, I thought it was 17, or 14, or I don't know. Brain not braining. That just proves how little I know about the Final Fantasy game. All I know is it's a collab with Jollibee. Yes, the MMO, the one that has a collab with Jollibee that has a code that if you buy the specific Jollibee stuff, you get a Jollibee emote in-game. And I think that's freaking hilarious. I want to eat fried chicken. I want to go up to people and just angrily nom on chicken. Or happily nom on chicken. Like, food. Yum, 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 yum. Delicious. Yum, 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 yum. Mid-fight. Yum, 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 yum. Just stands in the middle of the street and yum, 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 yum. My motivations are terrible. But it's okay. It's slightly cursed. Only slightly cursed. Ha ha ha. No fear, no pain. Only cursedness. Oh gosh, though, yeah, there's a lot for Enfield. Just E. I haven't updated the game in so long. I've been playing my other games instead. Teehee. And yeah, if it's Jollibee gonna be nomming happily. All for you, Jollibee. I at least have it still downloaded. I wonder how long the update's gonna be. And then eventually, I do want to continue Nikke. That's another game that I've neglected, which is so bad. I've been playing the events off stream, but the main story, I'm being so far behind. A bunch of spoilers appeared on my page, and I'm like, oh shoot. Like, whoops. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that for now. Like, I didn't read into it, I just saw some faces. I'm like, wait a second, why is my girl crying? Like, oh no. Oop. I gotta read for you, Dorothy. And then eventually I'll be good and catch up to the Uma Musume story, because I was told that I need the new story card if I want to do good inside of Trailblazer. It's like my Umas can get up to S rank or SS rank sometimes. On the rare occasion I make SS rank. But I was told that if I really, really want to make some extra good Umas, I need that new card. I'm like, fine, I'll catch up eventually. Meow. Just meow. The game that I left behind right now is Star Rail. I have it downloaded still, but I haven't touched that, like, in the longest time. Out of all of them. And heck, for Girls Are Lying to You, for Battle Cats, I only touched that really when there's a collab. Though I resisted summoning on the Demon Slayer collab. As much as I wanted to, the last one I went for was Sonic. Cause, well, I wanted Knuckles, it'd be funny. But Knuckles was kind of mean. I got everyone in the end, though. Got my Sonic, got my Knuckles, got my Tails. I think Shadow was in that one too, or maybe I was just imagining that part. Like E, just E. I do feel bad for Nika though. That's probably the main story that I haven't touched in the longest time. Like, sorry Nika. At least I play you off time on my phone. Heck, it's a game that I probably have the most highest collection for too. Okay, Shadow was there. Like heck. Let me look at my phone real quick. I took a screenshot of how many Nikas I'm missing in the game so far. And I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm only missing 6 of them. So you can see that my dedication, at least off stream. But eventually, once I play that again, I'll be like, tee hee hee, look at how prepared I am now. Ah ha ha ha. But now watch me get destroyed still. Since I wasn't able to go too far, that means I didn't get all the... I don't know. Whatever stuff I'm supposed to have at this point. But oh well. That's my bad. Gosh darn it. The coolest is kind of early. I can think about... Well, actually, wait, no, I gotta do the summer event in FGO. I need to be good. I've been neglecting that. Cause I don't have the game on my phone because you can only have it on one device at a time. Like, oopsies, I gotta do Da Vinci-chan's event some more. Because I do want the rewards. I gotta raise my Alco more. I gotta raise my lovely Arc more. I gotta raise my Sussy Priest more. I just gotta hope that I get a bunch of embers from the treasure chests. Because they're gonna be in there, I believe. If not, oop. Yeah. I already finished it, but I gotta farm. Plus, it's one of those events where you have to have a certain amount of points to progress in the story. So, oopsies, because I've been neglecting it. I haven't been using my apples. I've basically been making blue apples and then calling it a day, which is bad. Because teehee, at home it's just like, maybe eat a little bit, play game, watch stuff, and then play a little bit of game, and then lie down, eat, wake up in the morning, work. Since work is from 7:45 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Like, hey. Gotta wake up at 7, get ready, leave the house quickly. Get home by, hopefully, before 5 p.m. And then chill for a tiny bit. Right now, I'm not as eager for... Like, not feeling like a huge rush for Enfield. Just because they add the events to that one little area early. So I'm like, okay, I don't feel as rushed. Plus, regular Arknights is fun as is. As of right now, I can say I prefer Arknights over Enfield. But probably because I'm more used to Arknights versus Enfield. But it's still on my phone. Maybe I'll log into it finally again. Like after this. Because I can play Enfield on one phone and then... Like Enfield on my left hand to at least log in. FG on my right hand to do more than making blue apples and trying my daily summon. And then afterwards I gotta log back into Girls Frontline 2. Cause teehee, I didn't do my daily supply missions yet. Or my dailies in there. I missed Lainey because I was thinking I kinda wanna try for Helen. But I haven't even tried for Helen yet. So that's 1000% my bad. But oh well, I'll be good. I'll finally start playing around more for that mode. And then maybe I'll throw some thingies at Helen. Like, hello, madam. Surprisingly, I haven't really seen stuff of Enfield on my feed, except for like the pop merch stuff. Like how there's fancy jackets at one of the events. Otherwise, it's been mainly Nika appearing, which is really annoying considering the stuff that's been appearing is about like some of my favorites. So like, stop spoiling my favorites, people! Or why are you appearing on my feed? Are you trying to ruin my favorite CEO for me? Are you trying to show bad stuff about my girl Dorothy? Like, oi, stop it, feed. How freaking dare you? Or it's a bunch of Umamusume stuff, which is kind of funny. Because it's usually about, like, the real-life horses. I'm like, okay, that's fun. I get some horse lore. But I gotta admit, it's kind of cursed horse lore, but it's still horse lore nonetheless. Which means I gotta play that game more. I gotta do the main story. And maybe their character stories finally. Teehee. And I gotta farm that other mode to get the hot springs. I've been bad. I've been farming Trailblazer instead of the actual thingy for the hot springs. Even though I've summoned new Uma. Because I'm addicted to getting high, or at least SS rank Uma. I'm preparing myself for all the cups. But all will. I still gotta get that one card and then I can get even more top tier Uma. I already know that. So maybe next week I'll continue the main story finally because there's no event. No event story. Just oh well. But yeah, like once a week for Enfield, that'd be fine. But that'd be like after catching up to Arknights. Regular Arknights. So yeah, next week's plan is gonna be to go through... to finish like the tales, going through the tales of the sand, within the sand. And then the following week can be starting chapter 16. And then going through however long that takes. But yeah, as long as like there's no events inside of Enfield, that's like one of those things where it disappears permanently. Potentially like a collab one. Ooh, then I have to worry. But otherwise, it's like just in-universe stuff. It's not too bad. Don't feel fear and pain right now. But yeah, I'll be good and farm some stuff before some Godzilla tonight. Gonna look at that funny Godzilla Island thing that's on YouTube. At least I think it was called Godzilla Island or something similar to that. I'm ready for the insanity of those beautiful figures. But now it's time to be semi-good and actually farm. Play one game on one device, another game on the other. So that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day at Epic Gacha Luck. I will also do my farming inside of the drag event. I'll be good about that too. So see you guys later. Bye bye. So let me just go back into my game so I can farm thingy. I gotta be good and farm. Especially if I want my Saintess to greet me. Holy cow though, if I summon another NCOs before I get Enya. Maybe I'll put this new Silver Ash to use instead. Like, as much as I like my current Silver Ash, it'd be funny using the new one.